So did you origin? I mean, are you? Is it a trademark? Is it? Have you gone after?
We have trademarked the term operation pull your own weight. Pull your own weight is such a common phrase. It's and to tell you the truth, it is. It's one of the strengths of the program. It is so red, white, and blue. It's motherhood, baseball, and apple pie, and because of that, we got one of the other things about the experience in the Quad Cities is that we got tons of great publicity. If you like great publicity, it is impossible, as far as I'm concerned, to do anything that gets more attention than. We were on television, we were in the newspapers all the time, and as a matter of fact, there's a bunch of that stuff on the website if you'd like to take a look at it. But the kids bask. They love to see their picture in the paper, or their friends' picture in the paper, or on television, or whatever. But and that was a great asset to the program. I mean, that fed the fuel of why it was successful.
You said $30 for the straps, but you have to have something to attach them to, yes?
Yeah, you have to have a pull-up bar.
Okay.
Most schools have a pull-up bar.
Okay.
So a wall-mounted pull-up bar. In our case, at Jefferson Elementary School, when I was doing this in the Quad Cities, I was part of this grant that basically took care of salaries, and we had some excess change in the. We didn't have any money for equipment. So I quite literally went to the local Farm and Fleet, and I bought a bunch of pipe, and I bought a bunch of chains and some snap hooks. I took the pipe down to Davenport Central High School. They whacked it up into the right length for us. The maintenance crew came out and put the things up into every kindergarten, first, second, and third grade class. And we had about 15 or 16 classes that were outfitted with and then we put the chains. We hung 2 chains down, and then the snap hooks, and that raised and lowered. So I mean, we did it literally on a shoestring, and you could do that today. It's simply much easier to buy $30 worth of right. But it's when I say cheap, I'm saying cheap. You know, in comparison to, for example, I read recently where Aurora Park District bought a electronic gizmo that has kids jumping in and out with lights going for $50,000. $50,000. We could have outfitted 1,000 schools for $50,000. Jay.
Let me do a conclusion for you. We tried to introduce this last year to our PD department in 44, and they weren't open to letting Rick talk to them. We do have a new curriculum director this year, though. So if you do have any kids in 44, it would be, and if you think this is a good idea, if you don't, then don't do this. But if you think it's a good idea, if you would just talk to your principals and say, you know, there's an idea out there. It'd be nice if someone at the Ad Center would take the time to let Rick come and do the presentation. Not that they have to approve it right away, but we just want, I thought it was a great idea, and just trying to get him in the door so someone listens to him. And at that point, they can make a decision. But to make a decision, and you know, our curriculum director's gone, so I'm thinking this is a good time because there's a new person who seems to be, okay, I'll unthumper myself, who seems to be more kid-orientated. So
oddly enough, there are educators that are not very kid-oriented.
We made a change, and we made a change for the better. So I think, you know, if you have any kids in school, you know, if you just contact the principal and say, have you heard about this? If not, we can get you in touch so someone comes and talks to the school.
Okay, I have one more question.
Yeah.
I hear your heart is there, you know, being a physical education teacher and just really caring about kids. Are you making a living on this, though? Is this something you can franchise? Is it something? I mean, you've got your book, and that's. We're not looking to
not looking to franchise. We would love to have a sponsor, and at the top of my list at this point in time would be Kiwanis. With your orientation to kids, I can't imagine anything the Kiwanis Club could do on behalf of kids that even comes close. I'm a little bit prejudiced, but I can't imagine anything that could even be in the same ballpark.
Join us then. Right?
I will guarantee you, I'll more than join you, and I'll join this club. But that would be. I have a number of other conversations. The United States, the USA Gymnastics Federation in Indianapolis is interested in participating, and but I mean there would be nothing wrong with the Kiwanis and the USA Gymnastics. I have Well, there are a variety of conversations that are going on as far as the sponsorship possibilities are concerned. But for the moment, we're selling books, and that is what funds what we're talking about.
Can you spell your last name again?
Yeah, it's Osbourne. And in case anybody's wondering, that's exactly how the guy on television who is loaded with drugs spells it. So if you...
Eileen, is, in talking with Bill, is he still talking about an initiative in terms of child obesity?
You know, I don't know if that program or what they were trying to do a year ago is still on the table or not. But
Yeah, because we were talking about, if you remember as a club, about addressing child obesity in Lombard and joining with the village in terms of doing something. And, you know, even if we don't do something, if the schools won't accept it, we might be able to do something through the village and YMCA.
Park District, Boys and Girls Club. I've got a friend up in Milwaukee who is Community Relations Director for the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee, who is also trying to dig into it for the Boys and Girls Club. So, and that would be, by the way, another wonderful partner as far as, and you guys already partnered with them. Now, we do have a school down in Shanahan that is going to be, south of Joliet. It's going to be taking this up full scale, and we're going to publicize the heck out of it. And we're going to have lots of kids that will be able to talk to the camera. So we'll have access. Madison School District is looking, Madison, Wisconsin is looking into picking up on this. But we'd love to have Lombard schools.
also, you can go on, whenever I went on and saw this video of children doing it, it's, what would it go on?
The video,
Your own weight, or?
yeah, it's www.pullyourownweight.net. There is a .com, and you'll see a picture of me on it, and there's information on it. It's a friend of mine.
Little great video to see.
It's 90 seconds, and it's if you want somebody to understand this without having to explain it, have them watch the 90-second video, and you cover 99% of the bases.
Once you look at it.
Yeah, it's real easy. It's really.
You're like, wow.
You don't have a brochure or anything yet?
I don't have a brochure. The book is as close as I can come to the brochure.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to
What's
ask
the-
She's
one
trying
other
to put it on
question.
right now.
What's the price of the book?
When you take a group of kids and you do this, and you're doing, there's always more athletic children than there are less athletic children.
Sure.
Do the children, are they able, the weakest link,
Yeah.
so to speak?
Well, the point is-
he or she able to keep up
Yeah.
with everybody on that?
Well, here's another key element to this whole thing. We discourage pitting kids against kids. I don't want Jimmy competing with Johnny competing with Susie. I want Jimmy competing with Jimmy this week. I want Jimmy stronger this week than he was last week. Stronger this month than he was last month.
So it is
The
individual.
point is, Jimmy wins every week. I dropped this thing down low enough where Jimmy can jump and pull,
Okay.
and he can do at least 8. And I want it low enough where he's pretty sure that next week he can do 9. And the following week he can do 10. And as a matter of fact, you set it up in such a way that you know Jimmy is going to make that regular progress.
Yeah, I was just visualizing these kids.
Yeah,
That would be good.
and actually one of the other questions we get is, you set this up in such a way that it's really easy at the start. What happens when it gets tough? And there is a point at which it gets high enough that it gets challenging enough. And what you want to happen is you want those kids to have had enough positive experience with this that when it gets tough, they still think, they expect to be able to do one more. And the kids around them expect them to do one more. And when everybody's expecting you to do one more, it's humiliating not to try.
Yeah.
So you basically, the psychology reverses. Instead of not trying so you don't get humiliated in front of your friends, you give it the extra 110% so you don't humiliate yourself in front of your friends. So there is an important aspect. One of the other criticisms we get on occasion was, this is a boys program. Girls can't do pull-ups. Well, fact of the matter is, at Jefferson Elementary School, half the time, especially at this age, girls mature faster than boys. The girls were the best pull-up kids in class. We had down at Shanahan School, they tested kids, and the best pull-up kid in class was a girl who did 22 pull-ups in 4th grade.
Rick, thank you for coming out and talking to us today.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.